Let's start out with this. I've hid the details because I don't know if it matters, but my candidate number, things like that. But as you can see, I passed. That's the preliminary score, and I suppose it's possible that later on they'll tell me that I didn't, but I can guarantee 100% that I passed. I want to talk about what it's like for the exam, and I'm just going to go over again what I did to study because I don't think I did a good job the other day. First, what was it like going to the exam? So, my exam was at 12 p.m. I got there around 11:10 a.m. and they pretty much said if you're ready to go, then go in and take it. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm ready. Went to the bathroom and went for it. You don't get any bathroom breaks. You can stop and go to the bathroom, but the time stops. Or sorry, the time doesn't stop. So that's pretty annoying. So I didn't go to the bathroom. I made sure of that. They give you two really crappy pencils like this that are, well, sharp at first, but get dull fast. I brought two of these babies. Two of these, because I'm not messing around. And if you have one of these, well, you should have one of these if you're studying for Exam P. These are solar, and if they die, you're screwed. Two of these. 1, 2. I brought two of them. They make you clear it. They make you reset both of them. No big deal. They actually make you reset before and after. Okay, so then you go into the exam, and you're in like a cubicle. And they give you, I have some over there actually. They give you some big ear plug things, right? So they block everything out. And then you're ready to go. You go through a sort of a tutorial about how the CBT computer-based test works. It's really straightforward. There's obvious things like how does the mouse work, things like that. Take the test, and then afterwards, you answer some questions about how the test was. Questions from SOA, like what you thought of the test, things like that. You answer some questions about the Prometric Center, whether it was a good facility, whether they ran the testing center well, etc. Blah blah blah. And then they give you a preliminary result, whether you think you passed or not. Now let me just again say, I absolutely passed. I crushed it. I absolutely crushed it. I'm gonna go over again what I did to study, but let me just say this: I could, I was over prepared. I was over prepared. I got to question 30. When I was on question 30 out of 30, I had an hour and 2 minutes left. An hour and 2 minutes left. Now, one thing I need to say is that I cannot disclose any specific information about it because it's just not worth it to me. They make you agree that you can't do that, so I can't disclose anything. There is one thing that I can say. Not only was I overprepared, but there wasn't a single question that I had seen before. I repeat, and I thought this was a little bit surprising. I thought there would be some questions I had seen. Not a single question I had seen. There was not a single question I had seen. I just want to repeat that. All new questions. Okay? Something else that I do want to say about it, because I've been hearing all sorts of people discuss this, is I've actually been told that, oh, it's not fair. They test you on things outside the syllabus. You need to know some other things that aren't on the syllabus, blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. Everything they ask you is within the scope of the syllabus. Know the damn syllabus. Download the damn syllabus. Make sure you know everything on it. You're obviously not guaranteed to be tested on everything on it. I wasn't tested on everything on it. Okay, I'm not going to say what I was and what is not tested on, but there were things on there that took me a long time to understand that I wasn't tested on. Now, does that mean you won't be tested on them? Absolutely not. But know the damn syllabus. If you know the syllabus well, you're fine. You're fine. I can't think of anything else I really want to say about my experience other than I'm super happy that it's over and that I passed. I'm not taking that shit again. Okay, that's why I over prepared. I mean, that's all I need to say. But if you're like me and you want to take that again, then over prepare. I mean, just freaking get it done. So let me just go through again really what I did. First thing I did was I bought the Aztec manual. Actually, the first thing I did was this. It's kind of out of order, but I did this first. I did Finin's manual. This is a free PDF online. Okay, absolutely get that. This is not free. This is like $100. This is about $100. There's some choices. You could also try the ASM study manual, or other different choices for the study manual there. But this one I bought. I have the hard copy. Honestly, I think the Aztec manual does a pretty good job of explaining the concepts if you're new to the game. Which, I mean, as I mentioned before, I did take an upper division probability course back when I was an undergrad, but that was like in 2010, so 7 years ago almost. Finin does a horrible job, in my opinion, of explaining concepts. He pretty much doesn't explain concepts. Okay, he gives you questions, he gives you examples, whatever, but sort of no conceptual understanding. From what I remember personally, that was the first thing I did, so it's hard to say, but now, I didn't feel like I got a lot from that. But except for a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions in there, so I mean, definitely recommend going through it. The TIA, this one I forgot to mention the other day. This is the Infinite Actuary. They have free 4 exams. You have to sort of log in and things like that, but it doesn't cost money. Free 4 exams. And by the way, Aztec has 8 exams. I did all 8 of them twice. I did the 8 of them in the beginning of my studying, and then later on, once I thought I forgot everything about the questions, I did them again. Make sure you get like above 23 at least. You're getting 23 or above at least on all the Aztec manual ones. I was getting 27, 28, things like that. These ones the same thing. I did all these once, came back a few months later, 2 months later, did them all again, scored above 25 on all 4. You need to do that, okay? Yeah, take them twice. Okay, I also did obviously the SOA online exam P. I can't even tell you how many times I did this. I mean, I've done the SOA questions so many times, it wasn't even funny. I couldn't even do this anymore. I was getting 30 out of 30 on the SOA questions because I literally would sometimes, some of the questions I just look at, I know the answer. So I was just wasting my time. So I had to stop doing these, but do them if you haven't. As I mentioned before, Michigan State University, they have a free online exam P as well. A lot of mistakes. I mentioned in the previous video, but you should still go through them. There's some good conceptual questions. Honestly, to be honest, it's just my opinion, but I thought that these were harder than the exam. I also thought these were harder than the exam. This is my opinion. I thought that these 4 exams were harder than the exam. So if you can do well in these, okay, you should be fine. Same with these. Goose Study Manual. Again, you can download this app called Scribed on a phone, and you can find his study manual there. Don't go through everything. I mean, he talks about a lot of distributions you don't need to know, like the Weibull, the Pareto, the chi-square distribution. You don't need to know those for exam P. But he also has specific chapters, sections on just like, say, the gamma. And it's quite valuable. Quite valuable. I wouldn't focus too much on the problems he does, but his explanation of concepts, I think, is quite useful. So I would do that. The last thing I did in the past week was this. You should absolutely get ADAPT, but not until the last week. The last week of your studying, before you take the test, get ADAPT. Get it for a week. Okay, I highly recommend getting that, especially if you're like me and you've literally done everything. I mean, even the MSU side, I was knew all the answers there as well. I just done it too many times. Get ADAPT and get your level up. Now, a lot of times the question is this: how do the earned levels in ADAPT compare to the level of the exam? I got all the way to the earned level of 10 on ADAPT, and I mentioned this previous video actually, but I actually did worse on earned level 7 than 10, or 7 or 8, I can't remember. How would I say, this is probably, in my opinion, the most important thing to say. how did the earn levels on Adapt compare to the real exam? In my opinion, and this is completely subjective, in my opinion, Exam P is approximately earned level four to six. If and when you get Adapt, you'll know what earned level is. This is just my opinion. It's about 4 to 6. I thought 7 was much harder than the when I did the earned level 7, 8 on Adapt. I thought it was much harder than the real exam. So I think I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say. My advice to you is to over prepare like I did. Again, there was only one question that I can say that I maybe got wrong. And honestly, there probably is more than one, but there's only one where like my computation didn't match up perfectly. Everything else matched up perfectly. Logic made sense, concepts made sense. Everything was good, but one question. Maybe it was a pilot question, I don't know. There's 3 pilot questions allegedly, so I guarantee 100% that I passed. And I'm interested to see my score. I hope I got a 10, at least a 9. Please comment below if you have any further questions, if you think I missed something out. But good luck with your studies. Let me just say one more thing. I started studying pretty much September 1st. And now it's January 12th. I studied literally, I'm not even kidding, probably, maybe this is kind of embarrassing, at least 5 hours a day. Kind of ridiculous. I definitely overdid it. But at the same time, I crushed it. Literally finished with an hour left. So let me know what you think. I hope this was helpful. Again, I'm sorry, I can't disclose any details. Okay, that's just the way it works. But also a good thing to remember that I mentioned before is don't expect to see questions you've seen. Follow the syllabus. Do a ton of problems. I don't think I've been stressing that enough. Do a ton of exams under exam conditions. With earplugs. With a crappy pencil. With the calculator you're going to be using. With your Z-table. Z-table is life. Right? This thing I cut out of one of my old textbooks. I used to teach math, college. And I cut it out of a textbook because I don't care about that crap anymore, right? And make sure it's the right Z-table. Make sure it's the right Z-table. There's different ones, right? So anyways, good luck. Best of luck to you. And let me know if you have questions. I'm not going to be covering Exam P content anymore. I'm going to move on to FM. I'll definitely be making videos of that. I have no background in financial math whatsoever. So we'll see how that goes. I'm happy to cover Exam P questions if people request them. Otherwise, I'm just going to do Exam FM. Good luck, and let me know if you have any further questions. And thank you for subscribing. All right.